here, YouTube. I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I'm very excited to be checking out the 172nd most popular project in all of tabletop games. That is Fantasy Commander. It is a fantasy hexagonal war game with an extremely detailed miniatures of 20mm scale. So, I gotta say, first things first, I'd like to know the player length, the time length, the age count, because I think it's down here, but I can't actually see what it says. I'm assuming it's a two-player head-to-head game, considering it's a war game, but there's multiplayer war games that are more than two players. Also, it's nice that you're showing me these minis. I can't really see them that well, because, once again, I'm sure this... Oh, I lost it. Jeez, I gotta find it now. Fantasy... Okay, there it is. Because, like, I see that they're colored and they're painted, but I can't really see the intricate detail. Now, I'm sure when I click on this, the main image is just going to pop and they're going to look great. But from here, I'd love if you scrolled in a little bit instead of, having all this other stuff. Also, funded over 300%. I don't care. That's completely useless. I can tell you're funded, but who cares? Does that mean they're stretch goals? If they're stretch goals, tell me that. Tell me something else. All right. So, 172, I'd love to know the inches on that, and I know that is industry standard mentioning that, but for the people who do not know what it means, or they're newer to the hobby, convert me to inches. It's always nice. Resin miniatures. So this doesn't actually tell me the time length, or the player count, or the age. Yeah. Not a fan of that. Also, $9,000. Really, that's all you needed to make this. That's interesting. Just... very interesting. As always, when I go in the video, I'm thinking three things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Let's go.
Foreshadow the fight as darkness is ready to consume the whole world. Signum Games presents a new hexagonal fantasy war game. Choose your side. Will you dare to challenge the undead empire or conquer the world under their dark forces? Whichever path you choose, an unforgettable story awaits. Fantasy Commander is a strategy war game in the Signum universe. Devastated by the Great Cataclysm, the lands are now occupied by sinister demons, foul...
So I do feel like they're doing a great job interweaving gameplay with components. So I do like that.
Vampires and other undead creatures from your darkest nightmares that obey the will of the dark gods. None of the rulers in this world dared to resist or fight back this terrifying force. But there is another empire, ancient and glorious, full of brave soldiers ready to fight for their land. Discipline, honor, faith and a strong martial tradition allowed the Iron Nest to thrive for centuries. But what will prevail this time? Black magic, along with the eternal living dead? Or the faith, unity, and iron will?
I've honestly kind of zoned out at this point. Like, you're just talking too much about the theme here while still just kind of just show me minis. Like, it's just like, hey, we're going to talk about theme for a minute. Well, we're just going to scroll around, look at the minis from all sorts of different angles. I'm over it. I get it. There's minis. They're not special or new here.
Of ordinary people. It's up to you to decide the future. Thanks to the new highly detailed 20mm miniatures and dynamic gameplay, the game will be a great addition to your collection. Challenge your friend to a duel game, or take part in a grand adventure in a single-player campaign.
So immediately, I hate that main image even more. This is a 1 or 2 player game? Solo. If you got solo, spotlight solo. Solo moves the needle. And the fact that I have to go to this video, I have to find you in the 172nd position, which is probably not going to happen for most people on the popularity or magic charts, because that just means you are buried down here.
Test yourself as a commander and create your own legend on the battlefield.
Meh. That's what I got here. Campaign originating from Ukraine. No joke. So that's another thing. I think that's a misstep. You know, maybe some people might have an issue with this, but quite honestly, I would lean into that hardcore. That's, I would say, hey, we're a Ukrainian guy. Like, I would be leading with that. I think not mentioning that is just not smart, because there are so many people who would love to support that. And not only would love to support, just supporting Ukraine right now, but would also love to pound their chest and say, hey, look, I'm supporting this project on Kickstarter. It's from Ukraine. You should be a good person like me and support it too. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing, but I'm saying there's a lot of people like that. And I can see a lot of people like that doing that, but the only way they're probably going to do that is if you pitch yourself there. Like, and all you have to do, just a personal touch here. A personal touch at the beginning of this video. I think it would be great. How does Ukrainian character affect your can you do it calculation? Oh my god. Yeah, that's a weird one. I guess we'll see as we go. Oh my god. How do I? All right, we'll get there when we get there. Solo's always a big win. Agreed. So, Legends of Signum, 6 created, 2 back. We are Signum Games, a Ukrainian company that have been producing high-quality miniatures for the past 9 years that we've been in the market. Okay, as this is our first board game. Now, this concerns me a little bit. We see this a lot. Tale as old as time. Minis company that does minis on Kickstarter says, hey, we're going to make board games now. Board games come out, thousands of minis, and the game is... yeah. I'm hoping this one avoids that. That being said, there were some things on the Board Game Geek that concern me a little bit. There's no designer of this listed. Like, they didn't put the designer of the game. So hopefully they mention that someone who designed this game, even if they're a first-time designer. Like, I would like to know, or is this someone I know? Our works concern not only the production of miniatures and game development, but also deliveries around the world. We are now familiar with the entire process of producing printed game and having confidence it will not run into the issues. Okay, so we have one collaborator here. Good, so we should have some good updates, customer service, hopefully. Let's go check out the previous cleared, make sure the miniatures weren't crap and weren't broken. All right. Legend of the Signum, the Cursed Forest. That sounds like a game. Dragon Hunters. Okay. These are minis. Wow, that is a nice looking shot of those. Are these out? Did people get them? There's 348 comments, which tells me this is probably not a flaming dumpster fire. Dispatch has begun. The very first pledges have been sent out. This means our campaign starts a very pleasant, but no less important stage, completion. What good timing for that. That was last month. Excellent there. So that one is out. Let's see. This one should be out as well. The delivery of the pledges is over. Not a flaming dumpster fire. Looking for the name of the sculptor, the Mountain Ogre diorama that was in the Cowblade site. I was told he was going independent of his own site to sell his sculpts, so their minis were so good. I want to know that person doing it. I made a small mistake in my backer kit, and then they're on that with the customer service. Great. Feeling comfortable. Minis was not my concern here. Minis was never my concern here. The game is. So hopefully once we get back to the page, we're going to be wowed by your gameplay and mechanisms and theme and all that good stuff. So I feel comfortable here. Like, none of these are flaming dumpster fires of people saying I didn't get my crap. Spider Elves, United Alliance soon. Great. Feels good. Share some pictures. Blah, blah, blah. So, yes. Can you do it? Yes. On the physical logistics of it, I'm not concerned about that. And I think that's the bottom line. Now, granted, as Kevin pointed out, they are from Ukraine, which is currently, being attacked. How do you factor that in? I guess the question is, because I try and put myself in the shoes of a Kickstarter backer, how do you? And I think, honestly, people be concerned about that. I think there's going to be a certain group of people who's like, I'm going to need to be really wowed because of that. They have certainly done a lot. They have. So we start off, and this is a stretch goal thing. So extra mini, extra bases, extra things, extra something in the rule booklet, extra thing, extra base, extra stuff, extra rule booklet thing, extra thing, extra thing. I understand they probably wanted to conserve some space by doing it in this, but I'd like to know what these are. Like, what is this? Is this just a piece, or is this a card? I'm assuming this has some sort of asymmetrical special abilities. This mini, as opposed to this mini, as opposed to this mini. Is this a character piece? What is this for? Have you just upgraded a chip or a component to a mini, or is this a whole new thing right here? Is it going to come with a card? I wonder what's going on in this rule booklet. All this is great, but it doesn't get, like, okay. Like, I hate the layout of the stretch goal area because it's confusing, and I don't know exactly what I'm getting, and now I don't know. Now, if Blacklist Games could just finish their mini shipment from early 2020, Blacklist could be so learn a thing from shipping from these guys. LOL. Fantasy Commander will not only be a new fantasy war game with a great story inside, but will also expand our range, presenting a new miniature scale we never had before. This combines the best from classical fantasy, yada yada yada. Strategic board game with highly detailed resin miniatures at the scale of 172. So you're making a really in-depth. You're making a strategic war game. I want to know who's making the strategic war game. Who's the designer? Who are the designers? The game is basically designed as a 2-player duel. You can involve even more players in additional game modes, as well as test yourself in a single-player narrative campaign. So, this, I do think, is terrible. Like, this is absolutely terrible, because this is what I have to read in order to know that information. I should know that information before I click on your campaign. This isn't going to be just 1 or 2 players, because there are game modes that will bring it up to, what, 4, 5, 6? What is the number? Let me know that number. So is this a 1 to 6 player game? Is this a 1 to 4 player game if I buy everything? These are all super important things. 1 to 4 player. Solo narrative campaign. Numerous game modes. Cooperative, competitive. Like, these are things that I need to, like, put them on the marquee. Put them on the marquee. So this I will say is solid. So you showed me 32 minis, then you showed me these. I'd still like to know the inches, but this gives me a better idea. Pledges. Fantasy Commander starter box without the stretch goals. The thing no one wants. So you're showcasing the components. Wow. This is ugly. And this is what I see all the time. Tales all the time. I already said it. Companies that come from the minis market to the board game market, focusing 98% of their attention on the damn minis and 2% on everything else. And this is it. Like, this is no. I want to see what these are. I want to zoom in on this. I'm not just here for minis. I'm here for the game. I want to just go buy minis and just get a 3D printer and start buying all these STL Kickstarters. All right. So these are dice. I'd like to see them zoomed in. These are presumably player boards. Zoom me in. Get me excited about playing this versus this or whatever these colors are. I want to see these cards. How many cards are there? You're not even telling me how many cards there are. You're not telling me how many tiles there are and how many chits there are. Did you even tell me how many minis there are? Does it even come with minis? Okay, so this does not come with minis. This is your game without minis. In my mind, this is the retail edition. No one wants this. This is going to be immensely unpopular, at least typically. Stop the presses. For that $100 retail price, get the hell out of here. This is not a $100 game. What? This is no. What you're showing me here is like a $30 game. Like, this could be a King Domino box. This could be, that's the size of the box I'm seeing here. This is a blue-orange game right here from what I'm getting. Not a $100 game. So immediately the price has me aback. I'm assuming there's minis with this. But they didn't show the minis in the component list. This is so perplexing. And then we have the collector's edition. So the collector's edition, so it does not have, so this game has no minis. And you're telling me this is a $100 game. No. Alright, so now we're getting to minis. How many is it? Just give me a number. Our number's so hard, I gotta count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. So 62 minis. Why can't you just say 62 minis? Because once again, that's the kind of thing that impresses me. Especially when I get so this is the 32 millimeter, this is the 20 millimeter. These are honking in scale. I'd like to see these zoomed in. So this is $109. So okay. So 62 minis, but this one actually has stretch goals. You actually have a whole bunch of stretch goals. So what I would do is I would upgrade this picture with like extra minis. So I would see 62 minis originally, but then I see, oh, there's like 8 things that we unlocked, or 10 minis, or 12 minis, and then I get excited, really excited about your stretch goal. See, Simon, see a lot of other companies that just have had huge gangbuster minis expansions. Your stretch goal area should be fun, should be exciting. Go compare this mini stretch goal area to another really popular minis game. And I know you're saying, well, that's a big company, this is a small company. But here's the bottom line. It's not about the size of the company. Like, they've hit the stretch goals. There's like 10 stretch goals they've unlocked. And you better be damn well played. Like, if you go to another board game company and they have 10 stretch goals, and they're bangers like that. They're giving away minis, they're giving away cards, they're giving away this. They're going to showcase that. And they don't feel like they showcase that stretch goal area very well, despite the fact they put it front and center. So it's like they knew they needed it there, but it's just, I feel like you got to the 1 yard line and then you passed it 4 times. All right, what do we got? So we got the chits. So this is the same thing that from above, but with 62 minis. So now I'm essentially paying $59 for 62 minis. Okay, $109 for this version of the game. Now, is this its own separate box? This is? Are these the same boxes or are they different boxes? Am I actually getting 2 boxes or am I getting 1 box? This is information I need to know. It is never about the size of the company. It's about how they use it. It is. It's the case. I see smaller companies all the time. These smaller companies that just crush it on Kickstarter, and they do they hire great graphic design people. I mean, that's it. You get a great graphic design person. Say, I want this. But this is ugly. How many of everything here? I'm not sold on your game's original price. Like $50. And here's the bottom line. This is actually so weird to me. If you just take away that $100 retail price, I'm like, okay, this isn't a great deal, but this is a reasonably priced $50 game, presumably. I think, no, actually not. Like, what is this? This is like 12 cards? 12 cards? 7 tiles? This is all cardboard. Like, this is so, okay. Okay. Can't get over that price. Then we have the all-in pledge. I thought we saw all the minis. Apparently there's more. I'm led to see. So, the city this is based in is currently being attacked. It's about a stone's throw from the Russian border. That definitely, I think, contributes to the can you do it in a lot of people's minds, because it's just, Kickstarter's already a crapshoot enough. Like, okay, so what do we got extra here? What did we have? Oh, did we just decide to blend it in with everything else? Okay, are they extra minis? Don't make me count to 62 again. What's different? It's so there's extra minis down here. Okay. And this is the campaign book. Why do I need this? This looks really important. I don't get the campaign book if I give you $100? $109 isn't enough for the campaign book. You're holding out gameplay, essential gameplay, unless I give you the $179. So $79. So an extra $70 for a bunch of minis, extra cards, and a campaign book, which I'm inevitably going to want. Regular price $300. So I really hate this. How much is it? Just the shopping area is just weird, and I'm not a fan. There's like they tried to do a long, sexy scrolling shot of like the components, and once again, like just way too much emphasis on the component or the minis, and not enough on everything else, and not enough information. I just think in general. Then rules. This is not clickable. Okay. I thought this was clickable. No. Lead huge armies and great armies into battle. Test your military strength. Scenario, battle royal, standalone campaign. Once again, these are things that I think could have been great in the video, and maybe they were in there and I just kind of glossed over when you just kept talking about theme for a minute. Scenario, standalone campaign, battle royal. Like, this is all great stuff, but I feel like it's just kind of being sprung on me a little bit. Like, I feel like this image could have been higher. Determine the initiative of your troops with a unique order mechanic. So now we're actually going into the gameplay here. Handle the cards wisely on the battlefield. After attack, your unit can declare movement. Cool. Fight and win. Roll dice. Oh, here we go. There's the rules. Add-ons. Empire of the Iron Fist. Oh, so this is this something that I got? Because I gave you $200. I'm assuming I got everything. Did I get this? I don't know. I'm confused. Same here. Did I get this? Am I getting this, or do I need to give you an extra $15? Do I need to get an extra $25? Do I need to give you an extra $30? Do I need $45? An extra $50? Extra $60? Okay, so no, this one I actually recognize. This is the one from that second one. But once again, and these come with cards too. Like, just showcase the cards, showcase the asymmetric nature of each one. What are these? These are just different units, because that gets me excited. Is this like a MOBA style thing where we're gonna have a bunch of different units out there that have all sorts of different special abilities and fun stuff? Because that gets me excited. That's a game I can get behind. I didn't realize that was you. Apologies. This is, because that looks cool. Empire of the Iron Nest single player campaign. So this is the campaign book. Oh, so this is for the solo thing. So they do have it as an add-on. All right, I do like that. So you could get you could get this for $65. You didn't get any minis, and you could play this. Cool, I think. Maybe. I don't know. For those who like single-player game modes, Fantasy Commanders is a fascinating campaign with several missions. Take on the role of a lord from the Iron Nest. How much is several? Avoid this. Oh, so these are the things that were unlocked in the stretch goal, which is awesome. That's actually really exciting to me and makes me more excited for your stretch goal area. But how many people didn't go all the way down here and get to this point to figure that out? They just saw pictures like, what is this? But these are actually new solo campaigns. Awesome. How long do these take? Like, how long is a game? Have we seen how long a game is? Have you talked about the time length of this game at any point? Have you talked about how many players I can actually play it with at this point? I don't think I know the exact player count. You said I could play it more than 2. What does that mean? Is that 3? Is that 4? Is it 6? Is that 8? Is this the kind of thing that I could bring to a convention and make it a mega game and have 32 people going and have a huge sort of thing? Because let me tell you, if it is, that is a very specific audience that would be interested in this game. And if you could play this 16 to 32 players, I'm not saying you can, but little things like that go a long way. And that's not information I should be having to beg for. I'm assuming all these are in the pledge level I'm getting, which is the big whale. But I don't know. Video review. This is not a video review. This is, in fact, a shot of components that are painted. Also, can I buy this painted? Because if I can, I'm kind of annoyed. This is a preview. Don't care. This is a... Excellent! Let's play. Full gameplay video. Wish this was way higher. Overview. Yep. So, none of these have opinions on them. At least, I'm assuming based on what we got here. So, I'd love to see some quotes there. Because, once again, you're expecting me to sit through 2+ hours of these? Just give me some quotes. Lead off with quotes, potentially. I'm sure there's a nugget you can pull from Mark. That's going to sound good. That's going to highlight one of the interesting aspects of this game that makes it fun, or unique, or special, or different. Because it sounds like a cool game. I think. There can be no doubt that the appearance of the Sphinx, Undead Empire, and Signum is directly connected to the Crimson Canyon and the benevolence of the Soka Sword. Oh, now we're going to lore. Okay. Stretch goals. Whoa! So now we're getting ourselves an in-depth stretch goal area. Once again, why bury it down here? At this point, I just want shipping. That's the only thing I need to know. That is the only thing I'm left here for. I just want shipping. But now you're like, oh yeah, stretch goals, by the way. They're like, I kind of saw these. Decorated bases for the game's hero. That's cool. That's really neat. 2 game terrain elements. Awesome. 1 scenario for the Empire of Iron Nest faction. Is this something that's in the base game? Is this something that's in the expansion? Is this something in Pledge Level A, Pledge Level B, Pledge Level C? I don't know. Because your shopping area has been not a fun experience. 18,000, 20,000, brand new Undead Centaur for the Styx Undead Empire faction. This feels like, hey everybody, we're going to unlock more stuff for you to buy. But I'm not even sure. So you know what? I'm going to go over here. Normally I'd like to know the price of the shipping by now, but I'm just curious. Let's see what the pledge level is. Nobody wants your game without minis. That's... Go you, the one person. It's like, yeah, I'd just like to try this out the minis. Okay. So this is the Fantasy Commander Collector's Edition. 11 backers. Nobody wants this. Okay. Fantasy Commander all in pledge. So this, oh, it does. The Undead Centaur of the Styx Undead. Is this the Styx Undead? The Styx Undead. Okay, so these are stretch goals, but only... No, these are for these one too. Styx Undead Empire, Empire of the Iron Nest. But once again, I shouldn't have to dig. This should be very evident to me which pledge level is getting which of these expansions. Because presumably everybody's getting the decorated base for the game heroes. But if you're here at the... I just want more information. So much more. Brand new Aluna the Assassin, more bases, that's cool. Statue of the Warrior, a game element. Wow. I wish I knew what that was. Is it going to come painted? Is it going to actually look like that? Or does it going to look like this? And once again, now we're just getting into that weird territory where I'm pretty sure they're not actually offering painted minis. Right? The early bird, 6 backers, 136 backers. So, and then the Fantasy Commander all in, so 30 backers. It's because I want to know if that's painted or not now, and that's just a question for me. So hopefully that'll be answered in the FAQ. I'm sure it'll be answered in the FAQ, he said, with very little hope. Decorated base for the game base, and these are awesome. A game element, chained coffins. Great. Cool. What do these add? What do these do? Are these purely thematic? Are these gonna have cards with them? Like, there's just so much information that could be conveyed that's not conveyed. And I was very excited when we went from the original stretch goal area, which I thought was terrible because it didn't tell me any information at all, to the second stretch goal area where I'm still like, damn it, I want more information. This still looks like a mini collection pretending to be a board game. Ding, 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 ding. Garrett, you want a cookie? I agree. And once again, as I said on the Board Game Geek, why is the designer? I haven't seen the designer mentioned once. And I know it could be a co-collaboration where numerous people design it, but still, that's the kind of thing people should be on Board Game Geek. Signum Team works for you. Making minis. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we know your minis look good. The dates, cool. Shipping costs. Oh, hey, shipping. I almost skipped over it because you just threw it in here with the campaign calendar. Okay. We don't charge shipping fee on Kickstarter for the campaign. We're going to launch Pledge Manager on BackerKit where we'll oh, no. You're not even going to tell me? Incomplete. For how much is it? Because I don't know this vital piece of information. I don't know if there will be VAT. I don't know if there will be taxes. I don't know the prices. That is... How? How do you feel like what? Look at the other projects in the room. You don't have anything? FAQ. Hopefully we have some shipping information. Nope. No questions. Now, I understand they are in Ukraine. There's a lot of shit on their plate right now. But man, that's so weird. That is such a I'm like, but it's like, no. Yeah, I don't even know how to address that one. Like, I want to see this succeed, and these are minute details in the grand scheme of life. You know, if you were in Ukraine right now running this Kickstarter, I can think of a lot of other things that'd be more important. And so I completely understand that. However, if they are not, you know what? Let's go to the updates. Because the updates are popping. I was going to say that, but then I see 19 updates and I say, okay, no, they're pretty active. Like, I'm like imagining in my head like someone like cowering, like in a bunker somewhere. It's like, oh no, they're still putting out 19 updates. 0 comments, 0 comments, 3 comments, 2 comments, 0 comments, 3 comments, 11 comments. There we go. We finally got one. Friends, the situation in Ukraine is difficult, but we continue to work. Look at this. You're talking about the situation, the real life situation, and that moves the needle. Oh, now they're in Russia. Oh, okay. This can't be done, so it is an F. No, now they're in Russia. Did this Kickstarter start before the war? If so, that sucks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is such a weird topical one. When did this start? Because this was just a fan-suggested one. I knew absolutely nothing about this project. Someone was like, hey, you should check out this project. And like, as always, I like to go in these completely blind. This started in February 2020. Whoa, yeah, okay. Okay. That's a game changer. That being said, war or no war, I still feel like there are a lot of very bad habits in this Kickstarter that should have been realized before the Kickstarter launched. Not having any shipping information, just the generic, like the positioning of things, like. But the updates themselves, they're not particularly engaging. 0 comments, 0 comments, 3 comments. And, oh, the achievement stretch goal will be added to the collector's edition and the all-in pledge. Well, I'm glad you told me this vital information in this update number 16. How about on the Kickstarter page? How about in this image when you made this image? It wouldn't have been hard. Look at all the space. You could have crammed that in there. You could have used some sort of symbology, because once again, you're a board game designer, and we love our symbology. Comments. Thanks for the latest update and letting us know we're all safe and still working diligently on this campaign. Plus, one more go to see Facebook posts. If you could keep us current on how you and your team are doing, it would be greatly appreciated. Even if it seems quite a bit there, Signum posts regularly on Facebook, so everyone seems to be okay, as okay could be in such a situation. They kind of just had that realization with me, like, their real life now is way different than every single one of our real life right now, because their stress levels are just like, oh, okay, I was stressed about this and that, and now it's like, oh, there's also a war. Whoo! If it's in car, I don't know. I'm out, Greg. Hope you're all okay. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I think they need to do on here. I would pivot immediately to, hey, we have 6 days left. We launched this before the war, but we're still trying to finish this up strong. We're all safe, and we're all trying to focus completely on this. I would quite honestly, this is a big minis game company. I would pay for some marketing and some advertising. Like, I would get some ads, especially on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff like this, sending people here. You know, people want to support Ukraine right now. I see that crap. I shouldn't say crap. I see that stuff all the time. Like, it'll be like, hey, I'm ordering from DoorDash. And it's like, the only reason I'm ordering from DoorDash is because it's from Ukraine. So don't even make the food. And they'll just send stuff like that. And different weird, they'll be like renting out Airbnbs. People want to support right now. And knowing that supporting this, in this case, is not just going to be, you know, I'm giving you $50. It's, oh, I'm also potentially going to get a game out of this as well. And I would consider that, because honestly, at 172nd, people just naturally finding this on Kickstarter is going to be next to none. It's buried. And it's buried because of a lot of, in my opinion, the bad habits that I saw leading up to this. Like, once again, I still don't know the player count. That's unacceptable. Like, I know you're a minis game company, but at least act like you know what the hell goes on in board games. I don't know the time length. Do I? All right, that's the last thing. I'm going to give this a grade. I want to go back and I want to see if I can find any of those three pieces of information. The time length, the age, and the player count. Because surely it has to be somewhere in here. So it's a 2-player duel game, but you can play with more. That's the only bit of information I believe as far, and now my anger is boiling back up after seeing that $100 price point. And I say to myself, like, honestly, because as a consumer right there, you see a $100 game, and that's the $100 game you say, and you're like, what the hell? That's the first thing I see of your shopping section? Like, if I walk into your store and the first thing I see is like, whoa, that's super overpriced, I'm probably going to walk right back out. I might take a leak before, but after that, I'm walking out. Player link, time count. Okay, go to the rules. Oh, the rules. Let's go to the rules. The rules will surely have that. Surely, he said, with no conviction. Components and setup? No. Components and theme. Where's the setup? Where's the setup? Where's the setup? Where's the damn setup? Tactical deck preparations. Now we're getting set up. So this is a rule booklet that really, and like, I see these things, and I do a rule booklet critique on Fiverr, and I hate this rule booklet immediately. Because it's one of those rule booklets you're going to get. This has tons of pages, I bet. Yeah, what, 30-something? 31 pages. And it has no business having 31 pages. Like, look at this amount of wasted space right here. Wasted space. Wasted space. Tons and tons of just wasted space. Wrap the pictures around the text. You know, little graphic design things like that. Not having components set up just front and center. You know, going to your theme before you go to just about anything else. Just game components in the intro. I don't need that. Oh no, this is actually talking about the game. It's just, this rule booklet concerns me. The pedigree concerns me. And honestly, it's not fair to them. But the number of minis companies who have made the dive into board games and then their first game is just meh. And that's being polite. Essentially, no quotes. Like, I just keep going through my head. It's like there was no quotes from those videos. the gameplay video was buried. The rule booklet is buried. No player length, no time count. I'm going with a D. Right now I'm leaning towards a D minus. Because I feel like it has all the information. It's just the presentation. So let's go up from there. What did I like about this campaign? I like the fact that they led off with stretch goals. I hated how they led off with them, but I like the fact they led off with stretch goals. I think that's a great idea. So that immediately brings it up to a D. And then, what else did I like? I like this. I like some of the pictures. You know what? I'm gonna go with a D. I'm gonna go with a D on this one. As much as I want to go higher, I feel like, as bad as it sounds, I think you lead with the Ukraine thing now. I think you make ads just like, hey, you want to support Ukraine? You want to support in real life? Like, and you don't say it like that, but you just let people know that they can do that while still backing a Kickstarter project and getting a minis game. I don't see any upcoming live streams or gameplays. I mean, you have stretch goals, but I'm just not seeing the excitement around the project. And in the end, I'm going to give this one a D. But let me know in the comments below, what is your final grade for Fantasy Commander? And as always, if you enjoyed this segment, and also let me know in the comments below, do you agree that at this point, I think purchasing ads and just letting people know that you are a Ukrainian-based board game company, miniatures company, and we're doing this board game, it's massive, and we've hit 26 stretch goals, or whatever the hell it is. And there's the other thing, too. That's the other thing I want to talk about right there. I want to look at the community. And that's because I remember the main image, and I wasn't inspired by the main image. And yeah, so funded over 300%. That's just, nobody cares. You're getting soft, my friend. I gave it a D too. What do you mean, Huckleberry? I gave it a D. We're at the same grade, getting soft. But right here, funded over 300%. I would put the stretch goals, the player count. 1 to 5 players, 30. 12 stretch goals unlocked. 62 minis, 84 minis, whatever the number is, some sort of information starting at $49. There's so many more things that could be conveyed here. Because, look at this. What the hell does this mean? Oh, it's competitive, and there's a story or a scroll. It's just so many little things that scare me as a board game player about them not focusing on those. So, D. But as always, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on subscribe, as I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, celebrate my 10-year anniversary of making YouTube content. And as always, bye-bye!